What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Jose here at the First Round By podcast, accompanied by my boy, Mr. Sauce.
What is going on, one and all? Welcome once again to another episode. This is episode 29. For those of you who have been following, unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties on the last one, so it was only on the streaming services, I believe. And so if you want to go check those out or check that episode out, it is going to be, actually, you can go to firstroundby.com. We have links to all of our streaming services and everything on the website. As for this one we actually are going to be talking about some of the, so last week was kind of, the week prior, whenever we recorded episode 28, it was kind of a slower week, you know? Like, there wasn't very much stuff going on in the NFL. However, this week, there's some drama. Some drama going on in the NFL in the offseason. So, that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm pretty excited about it. As always excited about it. Always excited to be joined by my buddy over here and good old Grunks is over here. I'm not sure if they can see him.
Oh, they can see him.
Okay, perfect. I love that. So, leading off, probably the biggest news, and it cracks me up because as soon as Jose saw it, he tagged me in it on social media, and it cracked my shit up. Mr. Derek Carr, the legend, just got a 3-year extension worth $120 million. So this fool is getting paid $40 million a year to quarterback the Sin City Raiders. And man, I'm not happy about it. I don't know what the Raiders are doing.
Well, man, and I know we talked about this earlier off camera, but Derek Carr is officially a top 5, one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league.
I'm glad that you reiterated top 5 paid.
So who's number one? Paid number one. Could you tell me right off the top of your head?
Right off the top of my head without looking at anything. I want to say it is it Josh Allen?
No, it's Aaron Rodgers, close to 51 mil
that's right, a year. That's right.
So we got Rodgers at number 1, getting close to 51 mil a year. Then you got Watson, who hasn't even played in about a year and a half, whatever, at 46 mil. Then you got Patrick Mahomes, surprisingly, at number 3, at 45 mil a year. And granted, he did get that 10-year extension.
Gosh.
And then you got Josh Allen out close to 43 a year. And then Carr at 40 a year, which is insane to me because obviously if you keep up with the First Round By podcast, you know that personally I am not the biggest Las Vegas Raider fan, not even a Derek Carr fan. To be fair, to be honest, I just don't think.
Letterkenny fans will understand that.
I don't think we have those nerds listening.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't even know who that is. Who's that?
Letterkenny is a show.
Okay.
Canadian show.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's on Hulu.
To offend you guys.
No, you're good.
Anyways, Derek Carr, man, I don't think he's the answer. I don't think he will lead you to a Super Bowl. He might be able to squeak into the playoffs, but whenever it comes down to it, I don't think he'll be the one that leads you.
Right.
And especially in that division. Maybe if he was like in the, I don't know, AFC South.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, though, he would probably be the second best quarterback.
No, but I'm kidding, though, that, Derek Carr, I think that extension is outrageous. I know a couple episodes ago I was kind of predicting that they were probably going to have a new quarterback. I think I said about like the middle of the year.
Yeah.
But now that's kind of out the window.
Yeah, because now they're tied to him.
But now, I mean, they do got some pieces that came in, and I think they will be a better team. So this is his year to, I guess, prove the doubters wrong. Prove me wrong. You know what I mean?
Man, like, he's just such a streaky quarterback, and kind of like what you said, I think that you were actually were you the one that shared on social media
yes.
about the most losses, and was it turnovers
and losses?
Turnovers and losses. Man, and they just made him a top 5 paid quarterback. Well, and we all know that the Raiders, they aren't exactly the greatest organization when it comes to making good moves, except for the Devontae Adams. And that's another thing I was going to bring up. So now you got, what is it? It's going to be like because Devontae Adams is making 30 mil.
It's something close. I think it's up high 20s or something.
So Devontae Adams is pretty much making quarterback money, like top quarterback money. Derek Carr is now a top 5 quarterback. Well, in terms of money, I still don't. I wouldn't have done it.
Well, I think I don't know. I feel like maybe they felt like they had no choice because maybe they didn't give him the extension. Maybe they felt like he was going to leave or ask for a trade or something.
Right.
So,
and now he's got one of his best friends from college and everything on the team. So, I mean, you do what you got to do to maintain. But I think also part of it has to do with the fact that, and we'll talk more about this in another episode, but the quarterback class coming out this year is just absolute dog shit. From what I hear,
watch we get surprised.
Man, I'm open to it, but because like you said, you never know what's going to happen with them. But my guess is that they evaluated that, and then they said, well, Derek Carr's been playing. He plays decently well. He's a middling quarterback. I don't think that he does anything that's spectacular.
For me, I think I would put him towards like the middle.
Yeah.
Like you said, middle. Maybe at the 10th or something. Maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But also, rounding out the top 10 for the highest paid quarterbacks, obviously we got Stafford at number 6 with 40 mil. A lot of these guys, it looks like the going rate is about the lowest one is 33, which is Goff, which
that's still insane. I do believe he got that contract though when he was with the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, at the time that he got the contract extension, he maybe looked like a top 10 quarterback because he was kind of like that. Offense was kind of firing on all cylinders, but that was more so the team effort, not necessarily the quarterback. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, rounding out the top 10 obviously is Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, and of course Goff, which, Cousins, he's kind of like we said, he's kind of one of those middle core. I would actually put Cousins in kind of a similar tier as Carr.
I'd put Cousins over Carr.
Yeah, I'd probably put Cousins over Carr, but I would say that they're a lot closer than most people would think. So, well, there you go, Derek Carr. Happy payday.
I mean, he got his money. Like at the end of the day,
get his money.
He's win or lose, he's still getting paid. You know what I mean? Like we're over here making fools. I mean, we're the fools here. You know what I mean?
We're making fun of him for making all that money and not be able. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just one of those things that's like, I don't think he's worth the contract. But then again, though, kind of like what you said. I mean, we're just fans of the NFL shooting the shit about it, and so our opinions mean nothing. We don't see what they see. Right. Apparently. Plus, I'm sure that Derek Carr could beat both of our asses if he wanted to.
Nah, he can't.
I'm just playing. You go low, I'll go high.
Jesus.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on. Some other big news that is coming out of the NFL. Stephon Gilmore signs a 2-year deal with the Colts. I believe I said it was $23 million with $14 million guaranteed.
Somewhere around that ballpark.
Yeah, not a bad contract.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that, man. I know because whenever he was with New England towards the end of his tenure there, he was just injured. He wasn't playing a lot. And whenever he wasn't really playing like how he was these past couple years before that, you know. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, he got traded to the Panthers. And I don't even know if he played a whole. I think he did play there. He did play a few games, but it was nothing like flashy. Right. So, he's not, in my opinion, the same cornerback that obviously got him the Defensive Player of the Year honors. Yeah. But I think it's a great addition to the Colts defense. They're already pretty stacked. They're already stacked on both ends of the ball. So he doesn't need to be prime time Stephon Gilmore to make it happen. Like as long as he can, he's
a good veteran presence.
Exactly. And he knows what he's doing. He knows the game. And he's been in the league for a long time. So, he's going to be a great addition for that team. And it's going to be fun to watch for sure. Mm-hmm. And remember, I think I was pretty much talking about how, like, nobody else in the AFC besides the Titans, like, was worth a damn. But I think the Colts are actually getting up there.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Especially with Matt Ryan.
Oh, absolutely.
I think, though, that they do need maybe like another receiver. Maybe they draft another one this year.
Yep. No, I agree with that assessment. Pretty much, I'm going to echo your sentiments. They, especially since in the division, obviously the AFC South, the Titans have won the last 2 years, I believe, and we have AJ Brown, and at the time we had Julio. Now we're going to have Robert Woods coming off of ACL and everything, and then of course the draft is coming up, so we're probably going to get another wide receiver. So, and adding the Texans wide receivers, I can't remember who they are offhand.
Brandon Cooks. And that's the only one that I can name off the top of my head.
Yeah. So he is definitely gonna help because, I mean, even though most of the time the other teams in the AFC South, pretty much most of the teams in the AFC South actually rely pretty heavily on their run game.
Right.
But they also have a pretty good wide receiver. And so if you can get even, 80% of Stephon Gilmore, it's going to be worth it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely is going to be worth it. And like you said, that defense is really good.
Yeah.
They got a good pass rush. They've been adding pieces to the pass rush. Of course, they've got Matt Ryan, who's a great veteran presence. I think he's gonna be better than Carson Wentz. He's gonna be able to take care of the ball, and hopefully he's gonna hand it off to JT a little bit more.
Well, don't forget he's a pretty good choke artist too.
Yeah, that's yeah. I'm sure the Falcons fans all remember that. But yeah, no, that it definitely makes them a little bit more competitive, which is crazy because it's just adding one more piece to an already good defense and everything. So I think it definitely raises them up. I don't know. I'd see them kind of as a 9 or 10 win team, kind of like last year.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, and part of that is just because of JT's emergence. You got Matt Ryan. That defense is already really good. And then they just added this piece. So I wouldn't say I'm stoked for the Colts, but it's definitely going to make them a little bit more formidable.
Right.
Could push them into that tier to be able to, become a playoff contender. Mm-hmm. I mean, they've got a young, hungry team. And, of course, they're probably going to add another piece or two in the draft.
Of course, yep.
So I like it, though. I like seeing the competitiveness. I don't like it whenever there's just like one or two teams that's just completely dominating the league.
Right.
I like to see parity.
Yeah.
Parity is great. So with that being said, moving on, because we don't like talking about the Colts. We don't like talking about any team that's not, apparently we don't like talking about any team that's not the Titans or the Patriots. But how about the unhappiness that is coming out of the Cleveland Browns camp? So Mr. Baker Mayfield, I actually just watched before we recorded this, I watched a video with Baker talking about, he talked about it on another podcast. We didn't have him on. He wouldn't return our calls for some reason.
Why do you think that?
He probably doesn't even know who the hell we are. But he was on another podcast talking about just he's not happy with the Browns. And I mean, obviously you kind of understand it, mostly because of the fact that I guess he was saying that they were not necessarily making promises, but making it seem like he was going to be the guy moving forward. And then all of a sudden they just throw all this guaranteed money at a guy who has off the field issues, hasn't played in a year. And I can understand why Baker would be upset because, just like as a person, he was playing through injuries. It didn't seem like they really had his back on some of the stuff. But at the end of the day, the NFL is a business.
Yeah.
All these teams, they're making business decisions. And Deshaun Watson, even a year removed, probably a way, way better quarterback than Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
And so I think it's one of those things where Baker was just kind of venting and kind of saying what other players want to say, even though behind closed doors, just bringing it to light, just venting out his frustrations with it and everything. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, he has every right to be upset. I mean, from what I read is he just felt disrespected, which, I mean, technically he was kind of like the missing piece to that franchise's puzzle to kind of turn it around. So I know once he came on board, Obviously, he was the number 1 pick in the draft. I believe it was
Yes.
2016, maybe 2017. Doesn't matter. But he pretty much helped turn that franchise around, like I just said. And the way that they kind of just brought on Watson.
It's almost kind of like a slap in the face.
Exactly. And I get it. It's a business, but I feel like the way that he kind of, like I said, changed the franchise, he deserves some respect and kind of like, hey, maybe pulled Baker aside and be like, hey, this is what we got going on. Maybe not necessarily ask for his opinion, but just give him a heads up, like, hey, this is what we're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, he did help turn that franchise around. I'm not saying they're freaking Super Bowl contenders, but they're definitely not the same team that they were for close to whatever to a decade. And to kind of piggyback off of that, so there was this on Instagram. There's this page, they're called pretty much Panthers.way, and they're saying per Ian, I don't even know how to say his last name, Rappaport, the most likely landing spot for Baker Mayfield is the Carolina Panthers. And it's kind of upsetting, funny, sad, whatever you want to call it. So under that, you got Mr. Robbie Anderson, who says no. He does not want Baker Mayfield on the Panthers.
That's right.
And then there's another Panthers Instagram page who pretty much echoed what Robbie Anderson said, which was no. And then he said, pretty much it says Robbie Anderson does not want Baker Mayfield to come to Carolina. And then Robbie Anderson puts on their facts. So,
Jeez.
I mean, just imagine how, for Baker, let's just say he does get traded to the Panthers, because that's actually is a top destination that he might end up
Absolutely.
at. Imagine how that makes you feel. Like,
terrible.
What do you do? Like, do you try to gain his respect, his trust? Like, do you ask for them to trade him, or what do you do? You know what I mean? That's such an awkward situation to be in.
Yeah, I definitely get that, but also Baker has always kind of played with the chip on his shoulder.
Always, yeah. Even
he's
at OU,
always played with the chip on his shoulder.
Because I think even whenever he was in college, he was like a walk-on. I don't think he necessarily got a scholarship. So
exactly,
he always, like you said, had that chip on his shoulder.
So I think that the main issue that Baker kind of has is he still hasn't matured enough. But I think that as long as he can accept that, and if he can figure out a way to grow past that, then I think he'll be just fine. Just because of the fact that, like, I mean, at the end of the day, someone needs to just get in his ear and tell him, "Hey, listen, it's a business. It's a business. Sometimes you gotta put your personal feelings aside and just do what you need to do." Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we're all human. Everybody's gonna have the emotions. Everybody's gonna, and I mean, hell, and plus, no, I actually agree, because it's like, looking at the human side of things, that would suck so bad. Get traded to a team and then just already know that nobody wants you.
Yeah,
like that your potential teammates are like, no, we're not gonna rally behind him. However, if you have like a winning culture, and he's coming from a culture that he helped switch around and everything, I mean, if he can do some good over there, then that could probably change their tune real quick. Like, if they're sitting there winning, hell, if Robbie Anderson's getting the ball a lot, granted, we don't know if Baker would be able to push the ball down the field or anything.
One thing that kind of bothers me is Robbie Anderson is not even all that. Like, he's at best just an average receiver in the NFL.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, I know, like, as soon as the offseason started, there was a lot of reports saying that the Patriots were going to trade for Robbie Anderson, and I was like, no, like, I don't want him here. Like, he's just an average freaking receiver. Like, there's nothing to it. Like, he's not flashy. He's not.
And he has the audacity to say, "Oh, we don't want you."
You know what I mean? Like, I could understand if you were like Devontae Adams. Sorry.
Plus, if it was me, and if I was in that situation, I'd probably not take his words as seriously,
right?
Or at least not take him to heart, because it's just like, kind of like what you said, average receiver. I just won't throw you the ball. Right. How about that? That's kind of like what he's doing right now. So if he goes to the Panthers, fantasy football owners, do not pick up Robbie Anderson.
I mean, maybe if you have like the last pick, maybe.
Yeah, because
the very last pick,
he's probably not going to get the ball that much. Playing. But yeah, no, that's it's unfortunate for Baker. But obviously, the thing is that the Browns saw a chance to improve their team and took it upon themselves to do it. At the end of the day, it's a business. So, I mean, you just gotta do what you gotta do and accept the consequences. I'm sure that and see, the other thing too about it is just that I feel like he's kind of just using his platform as a means to kind of just complain about it and try to gain the sympathy of other people in a way. Mostly just because of the fact that he, like you said, I think he was going into the fifth year, right?
I think it's
something like that.
year.
So he's been in the league for a little while. I would understand if you were like a rookie or a second year person coming in and you don't really know, but you know the inner workings. You kind of have an idea as to what the inner workings are. Your agent probably told you some things too. So I don't know. Kind of sounds like sour grapes and everything, but I mean, everybody's entitled to how they feel,
right,
in their opinions. So, but with that being said,
so apparently there's some. I've been seeing like a lot of reports going around saying that Kyler Murray and the Cardinals cannot reach on a contract extension agreement.
Yep.
So Kyler Murray apparently is, what am I trying to say?
Holding out. He's not wanting to play without a new contract, and it has to be to his likings.
So thoughts on that?
Oh man, he doesn't have this leverage. He doesn't have the leverage for any of that.
I mean, he's a good quarterback. Like,
he's a good quarterback who shit the bed in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And then he's also a good quarterback who was sitting there sulking on the sidelines instead of trying to hype his team up to try to get back into the game.
I mean, kind of to like what you said earlier, Baker Mayfield needs to grow up. Kyler Murray needs to grow up.
Agreed. You know what the common denominator between those two is too?
Yeah, they both came from the toxic environment from Oklahoma.
Ooh, foreshadowing. Yeah, no, it's... God, it just... So I love watching Kyler Murray play. But to hear all this bullshit... Plus, there was like rumors in the offseason about him wanting to possibly go back to baseball.
No way, I didn't see that.
Yeah, there was... Again, they were rumors.
Baseball's so whack. I'm sorry.
But he was... Like, some people were saying that they thought that he was going to go back to baseball because of the fact that he just looks so disinterested on the sidelines.
Interesting.
Like, it looks like he just doesn't have any passion for the game or anything.
Yeah.
But, of course, now he's sitting here saying, I'm not going to play unless I get a new contract. It has to be my terms. Boy, fucking, oh, my God. Just go play. Like, he doesn't have any leverage, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Does not have any leverage. But I think that he has the same agent as... Oh, is it Russell Wilson?
I have no idea.
I can't remember. I can't remember off the top of my head, but he has the same agent as a couple of quarterbacks who recently got... I want to say it's Josh Allen and Russell Wilson. Mm-hmm. Quarterbacks that recently got big deals.
Maybe that's why he's like... His agent's telling him, hey, don't play unless you get this, that, and the other.
Yep. Which, that happens a lot of times because these agents... Because whenever these guys get paid, agents get paid.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I think it's such bullshit, man. Because, like I said, even he's got such big maturity issues. He's a dynamic athlete. He's a pretty good quarterback. Although the second half of the season, this last season, he shit the bed.
Didn't they start off the season like undefeated, like 7-0 or some crap?
And then after that, they went like 2-6 or some shit like that.
Some weird shit, yeah.
Yeah, almost missed the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And then got destroyed by the Rams, the eventual Super Bowl champions.
Right.
But yeah, no, and I just don't like his attitude. I don't like his attitude about it because kind of like what you said, he's got maturity issues.
Right.
Man, seems like did Sam Bradford have maturity issues coming out?
Actually, I don't think so.
Okay.
He was out. He was kind of weird, man. Like, I don't know. You never really heard much from him whenever he was in the league. And
yeah,
then whenever
quiet.
he like. I've never even knew when he was out of the league. Nobody ever said anything. Really.
He just kind of disappeared.
Well, actually, I say that, but like he was really injury prone. Like he was always getting injured, and I guess like over time he was kind of just like, I guess this ain't for me.
Dang, sounds like all these OU quarterbacks, they got the injury bug too. Mm-hmm. Man, can't stay on the field. Whenever they're on the field, they can't stay happy. Can't please any of them. Man, sounds like OU has some issues. And so with that being said, did you have any other thoughts on Mr. Kyler Murray?
No, sir.
All right. Well, also with that being said, did you have anything else for our lovely, lovely listeners?
No, sir.
Nothing at all?
Nothing at all.
All right. Well, since you guys didn't get to see us this last time and we talked about the merch, we are both currently wearing hoodies that are first round buy hoodies. You can check out our merch page. It is at firstroundbuy.com. There's a little link on the page. It's a button that says merch. Click on that. It took about a week or so to get here. We were using Teespring, and so far we've been pretty happy with the quality of it. So if you'd like to support and you aren't necessarily a big fan of football or anything like that, which I don't know why you'd be watching this if you're not. I'm just kidding. We appreciate any and all support. But if you want to support us in that way, you can go pick up either a t-shirt, hoodie. We've got mugs. We've got pint glasses now, which are pretty cool. We've got our little first round buy logo, so you can get to drink out of cups that have our pretty little faces on them and everything. And also, just make sure you go check and support. We appreciate it. Comment down below. Let us know what you thought. Let us know what your thoughts are on all the different news that we've been covering in this episode. But yeah, other than that, I think that's about all we got for you guys today. So make sure you check out the next episode. Make sure you check out this episode. Make sure you check out the previous episode. All that good stuff. Firstroundbuy.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You know the drill. We appreciate your support. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.